All right, here we are. Sorry for the delay. A lot going on here. Week 11.
Already.
Week 11.
Already.
It has gotten no easier.
No.
This is another tough one. What one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Cleveland Buffalo. Do you have anything with that?
I think, I would take Cleveland with the hook,
Mm-hmm.
and with moving to Detroit, easier travel, yada, yada, yada. But, the Bills have to respond this week or they're really sliding down,
right,
the totem pole.
For sure. I think it could be a good teaser spot if you're looking with that with maybe the Eagles, maybe the Vikings getting 7.5 at home with just another teaser option.
You think the Bills teasing them down?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how they don't win.
They have to.
The Browns can't score.
They have to win. The Browns build off the run, and they can't keep up with the Bills, especially in this favorable weather.
Right. Deshaun's back at practice, so I'm assuming he's taking some type of snaps from Jacoby Brissett.
And that's only a distraction at this point.
Right. They have to be looking toward Deshaun coming back.
Yeah.
I mean,
at this point, their season's pretty much bagged.
Right.
And they're just gearing up for that. I think they might actually get trounced.
I wouldn't be. I mean, they kind of have been the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, last week was an ugly.
They've been struggling for sure.
All right. I have a weird feeling about this Bears-Falcons game, but my issue is everybody else feels the same way as I do. So I can't take it.
Yeah. I'm riding the Bears team total here again. This team, the last couple of weeks, has just scored on pretty much everybody. I don't think Atlanta is a team that's going to come in here and stop that train. They haven't really stopped anybody this entire year.
And their offense is built to expose.
For sure. The Bears seem a little chalky on the side, so I think they score points. I don't want any part of their defense because their defense can't stop anybody, but the Bears are going to score.
I lean heavily over in that, but that's a lot of points for two teams that are built on the run.
Right.
So, I just can't trust that total.
For sure.
It did come down 48.5, so that's a little interesting to me. All right. I want to talk about Washington. And this is my first official play. I got the Texans at 3.5. And it's only I'm riding the high that Washington's on right now, going against that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find out today, though, if we were talking about this earlier, if they're fighting into the playoff picture. And, but I feel like they have to start coming down from this high that they're on.
Right. Yeah, I just don't know that the Texans are the team that can stand in and come through with that is my only hesitation. I think the Washington could be due for a letdown. I just don't know that the Texans can take advantage of the letdown.
Yeah. Definitely not the team I want to be back.
Yeah, I mean, you can just kind of game manage your way through a game with the Texans, but I mean, it is a huge win that Washington's coming off. For sure.
Huge division win that kind of put them back in the mix of things.
Yeah, and you can see they're clearly feeling themselves now. You see Taylor Heineke on the plane, and he's getting interviewed now.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too much for them because, realistically, they still should have lost that football game with the Eagles giving it to them.
Yeah, right.
Which is nice.
They had a chance at the end for sure. Yeah.
So I have to take the Texans here, and I'm just going against Washington. They've been on a pretty wild run. Should have beat the Vikings, beat the Eagles.
Yep.
I feel like this is a big letdown spot for a team that should not be letting down anywhere.
Yeah, right.
I just feel like they are with how good they're feeling about themselves. All right, let's talk about the Birds. What do you think?
I think it's a win and a cover. I'm not taking it. I did tease them down with the Bills. That is a play for me. Just those two teams, but the 7 is a lot. I think you're going to learn a lot about how they can respond. This is their first chance to really respond after a big loss. And the Colts, they're just riding a little too high for me right now. It's just everyone loves the Colts now. Everyone's, Jeff Saturday, all of a sudden you're amazing now. I apologize after last week. And I'm not ready to crown them yet. They had a good week, but I don't know that they could put 2 in a row.
I think this is a great spot to back the Birds.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of points, and I want to find out how they respond to a bad game. Are they going to come out and bully this team like they should?
Right, they should, yeah.
Or are they starting to feel bad about themselves? I don't know. I didn't like the way they were talking about things after Monday. So it's we're going to learn a lot about that team too today.
For sure.
They should easily handle the Colts, especially why are the Colts the public darling this week?
Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone also was looking for ways for the Eagles to not be as good. So now they think they found a weakness in the run defense, and the Colts should be able to exploit that. But, I mean, you have reinforcements coming in with Ndamukong Suh and Linville Joseph, I believe, are at least playing some type of snaps today. And they just had a week of now everyone saying, oh, they can't run the ball. Or, you can't stop the run. You can't stop it. Like, they're going to come in with a game plan to stop the run today. And the Colts can't do anything else.
You know who needs a big game? Fletch.
Yeah, for sure. Someone on that D-line needs to show up in a big way.
Because he was non-existent in that Washington game. They need him in the worst way. It's a weird rematch one. We're going to New England.
Mm-hmm.
-3.5.
Right.
And they just beat the hell out of the Jets last time.
For sure. The hook keeps me off it, but there's no way I can back Zach Wilson against Bill Belichick. I mean, they're both off a bye, but that is negated by Bill Belichick being off a bye. Like, that's an advantage when they're off a bye. It doesn't matter if you're off a bye or not. Bill Belichick with extra time is going to win in any situation.
In the division, they're fighting to get in the playoff picture. I mean, you've seen it since the Jets lost all the turnovers, lost the run game. They're the Jets again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now Zach Wilson has to carry them. Yeah. That's not Zach Wilson.
No, not one bit. Not one bit. I think, Shaft, I'm with you. It's definitely the Pats today. Definitely the Pats. That hook makes me nervous because the Pats cannot score.
Right.
They're the most frustrating team to back because they move the rock, get to the 40, and can't get a field goal, can't get a first down.
For sure. I think another way you could look at that game is a Jets team total under. If you just want the Bill Belichick versus Zach Wilson, I mean, that's pretty much as pure as that can get.
I like that angle.
I don't know what the number is. I haven't looked at it, but that's definitely a way you could look at that.
We're going to have to come back to that. Ravens laying 12.
Yeah, I got no interest in doing that. I still think the Ravens are a little underrated, but it's hard to say when they're laying 13. But, I mean, with getting the dude from Chicago, I'm forgetting his name right now, Roquan Smith, I think their defense could tighten up a little bit, and they've been scoring all year. So the problem was just
first showing for them.
No, he played last week, or maybe the week before. They might have been on the bye last week. I forget who they played 2 weeks ago, but he's played as a Raven.
I'm interested to see how that one shapes out. And I think the Panthers are just like, now that the honeymoon's over with that whole situation, it's just going to start to get even sloppier.
Yeah, it's a shit show.
They might beat the hell out of them, but 12 is a lot of points for a team that cannot close football games.
Yeah.
That's what makes me nervous, like a nasty little backdoor coverage.
It's definitely possible, for sure.
Is this line fishy to you? Giants, Lions?
It does feel a little fishy, but I mean, I'm done with Detroit. They've won the last couple games. I get it, but I don't believe in them. They fold when they shouldn't. They should probably have 2 more wins than they do, and I'm just not interested in backing them.
I think that number is just an overreaction to them beating a bad Bears team, but everybody was high on the Bears last week.
Right.
So now it's like people are pegging the Lions a little bit too high.
For sure.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. And the Giants are probably not as good as the record is, but they're playing a Tennessee-type style season. I mean, they're just winning games. Even when they're getting outstatted, it's culture, it's good coaching, they're winning close games.
That's a good comparison, but don't ever.
Yeah, no, I agree, for sure. For sure, but like Dable's doing a hell of a job this year.
He's an animal. I like him. This game I don't even really want to talk about. New Orleans Rams.
I got nothing.
Yeah, dude, who cares? Talk about 2 teams. We're all Rams fans today.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take the pick. Yeah,
step up.
Absolutely.
Another game. Actually, I have to just say one thing about this. The Broncos are the only team that are just officially on my do not bet list.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, I can still hold my nose for, but the Raiders and the Broncos, ew.
Yeah.
Are the Broncos serious?
I got no words for them. There's no spot that's good enough to bet the Broncos. I mean, they underperform in every situation.
The fact they're home only laying 2.5 against the Raiders, who are a dumpster fire, is kind of crazy.
For sure.
Like, are the Raiders going to win that game?
They definitely could. I don't know. How do you pick between 2 horrible teams?
I don't want to.
I would lean to the Broncos. The Broncos are a more complete team, but there's no way I'm laying points with the Broncos.
Absolutely not. They can't score points.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
points.
right.
All right, this is the big one. I'm actually really excited to watch this game. Maybe I got a little carried away with the Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen thing. I was still right about Kirk Cousins. Maybe I was a little wrong about Josh Allen. He had a bad day.
Yeah, he had a bad day.
That was a wanky football game. But this line in Minnesota is Dallas laying 1.5 away. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I would agree. When the line opened, I thought it was definitely a Dallas line with everyone. I was thinking everyone would take Minnesota, but I mean Dallas is taking some money here. They've been taking money all week, and it really only moved this morning, which makes me think that it's like a public move, that public money is moving that. I'm not on the game, but I would lean to Minnesota at the house. Because you can't be due for a letdown, like coming off a big Buffalo win. I mean, you're getting points at home. Like, what is there to let down? You're an underdog.
I mean, it's not even a letdown spot. This is huge implications for them. I mean, every win matters so much for the Cowboys, Birds, and the Vikings.
For sure.
So they're like, I feel like last week was their letdown spot. It's like, all right, we can afford a loss to the Bills. Can we not afford a loss to the Cowboys? I lean Dallas here, though. I think that D-line needs to win them that football game.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons needs to win them that game.
And that's what keeps me off the Vikings. The only team they've really played that can rush the passer this year is the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw how that played out. Everyone else has kind of been a bunch of soft defenses for the most part for them. I'd lean Minnesota still, but that's what keeps me off of that D-line.
It's a tough one to call.
For sure.
I'm on the boys just because I think that pass rush could make a huge difference. And really, I mean, all Diggs needs to do is take away the home run play.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, don't bite. Just stay back.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't let him kill you. The only way, I mean, that dude, Justin Jefferson, is
ridiculous.
That was the craziest performance maybe I've
last
ever
week,
seen.
yeah.
And even they're trying to double him, and it doesn't even matter.
Not enough.
I got the boys, -1.5. That's an official play for me. I think Dak has a good game. They're going to need to run the ball. And that D-line, I give the edge to Dallas's D-line over Minnesota's O-line. And I think if you can get to Kirk Cousins, throw the timing off, and then that's the best way to cover Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So
don't give him time. Yep.
Dial it up. All right. You have to have a play on this one. Steelers, Bengals.
Yeah, I am. I took the under in that game, under 40. I think the Bengals are going to have some trouble scoring here today. Since Jamar Chase has been out, they've only played one game, the Carolina game, where they had a ton of success running the ball. If you remember, that was the Joe Mixon 5-touchdown game.
Yeah.
They've had the bye since then, but I'm back in the Steelers defense. I think they're going to get to Joe Burrow. They always get to Joe Burrow, and he's just not going to have any time. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points scored in that game. It's division, familiarity, second time this season, missing weapons. I like the under.
I like the under. I see turnovers, too.
Yeah.
I see a lot of inability to move the ball. Jeez, George. A lot of inability to move the ball. And that just threw me off. But a lot of turnovers. And then Kenny Pickett's going to turn the ball over. Bengals defense isn't slouchy.
At all.
Like they're playing
I think they're underrated. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I mean, you're talking about two really good defenses, division game in Pittsburgh. Definitely like the under. I mean, I definitely love Joe Burrow to throw a pick today.
Yeah, I mean, he threw maybe 3 or 4 the first week of the season against them.
Yeah.
So,
I forgot the Steelers got that week one.
Yeah, yep. And that's what keeps me off the Steelers' side is the revenge game factor.
Can't lose 2.
Yeah, I mean, that would be tough for them. I do think Cincinnati's going to go on a little run towards the end of the year here, them and the Ravens, but I'll just take the under for this game.
Honestly, I bet you Bengals win by 3.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
I think field goal.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Something like that. I would not take a side in that game because they're begging you to take the Bengals. But that revenge, a lot of weird things in that one. I do not like anything in it. I do like something in this night game, though. I'm actually kind of excited about it.
Could be a good one.
And I think Keenan Allen's going to suit up.
Really?
He has to suit up.
Yeah, they need him.
They need him in the worst way. I like the Chargers to cover again.
I'm not mad at you. They've been overperforming my expectations. Once again, Kansas City hasn't covered a game against the AFC all year. But I lean to the under here. Under 52.5 just seems like way too many points. The Chargers haven't been scoring a ton of points, and they've been playing decent defense for the amount of injuries they have. So, I mean, again, familiarity, division, all that stuff. I'd go to the under on that.
I mean, this one looks like a light show on paper, too,
Right.
which never turns out to be the case.
Right.
It's like more war of attrition.
Yep.
Derwin James is going to be an animal today,
Always.
per usual.
Mhm.
I love that dude. He's a monster. I mean, put him on Kelsey, make the other guys beat you. What's the dude from the Giants? Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
Make him beat me.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be Travis Kelsey.
Right. And I think Derwin James typically does a pretty good job on Travis Kelsey historically.
He does a good job on it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I mean, if there's one guy I'm feel comfortable putting on the best
for
in
sure.
the league, it's Derwin James.
Yeah.
I'm making Isaiah Pikachu and Kadarius Toney beat me.
Yeah.
What do you think about tomorrow night?
I got nothing. Yeah, I mean that's a ton of points. I would lean to the Cardinals, but
Yeah, at 8.
yeah, I
The
mean that's a
Niners are
ton.
laying
Yeah,
8?
right. That's a ton of points on the road, right? On the
With Jimmy
road.
G?
Yeah, right.
Laying 8?
Yeah.
On the Cardinals money line. Or do the Niners beat the hell
I
out
don't
of
think
them?
so.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Yeah, for prime time. I mean, the Cardinals are going to show up. They're doing the whole HBO Hard Knocks thing. Like their pride is on the line. Every week they have to do the in-game.
Is Murray playing?
They're never going to quit. Not 100% sure. I don't think so though.
I think they're better off without him.
Yeah.
Honestly, if he doesn't play
Yeah.
and that line moves, I'm taking the Cardinals money
Yeah.
line for a sprinkle.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Light week, tough week. You're going to find out a lot about Cowboys, Vikings. You're going to find out a lot about Washington, find out a lot about the Bengals, find out a lot about the Birds. Birds need to respond the right way. Or just get a win. Doesn't matter. Let it be ugly. Let people talk down about you the rest of the week. I'm cool with 2 weeks of being viewed as like.
Just give me a win. Just give me a 1 seed. I just need a 1 seed. We'll worry about the rest later.
Take care of Jonathan Taylor. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
And then I really want to stop hearing about Jeff Saturday. So please, for us. All right, everybody. Picks are going out on Twitter right now. Thank you for attending. Until next time.